really heated vote in the United Nations. There was a vote to approve a non-binding resolution demanding that the United States rescind and dial back its decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Now, European democracies and allies, U.S. allies, Britain, France, Germany, Japan, all voted against the U.S. It's not the revanchist right in Europe. It's Theresa May, Emmanuel Macron, Angela Merkel voting against the U.S. All this despite America's warning that the United States could withhold billions of dollars in taxpayer funds and aid to nations voting against the U.S. Here is the UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, with some stern words earlier today. Roll tape.
We will remember it when we are called upon to once again make the world's largest contribution to the United Nations. And we will remember it when so many countries come calling on us, as they so often do, to pay even more and to use our influence for their benefit. America will put our embassy in Jerusalem. That is what the American people want us to do. And it is the right thing to do. No vote in the United Nations will make any difference on that.
With me now is the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Wow, Nikki Haley really standing up there. What did you think?
She really did, Liz. And, you know, finally, the United States words at the UN were clear. We finally took campaign rhetoric that's been campaign rhetoric bipartisan for decades and actually made them mean something with policy. And I'll tell you, those countries that voted against the U.S., as Nikki Haley called them out, they included all of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Islamist law nations of Sharia states, and their enablers in Europe. So basically you saw the militant Islamist heckler's veto finally vetoed by the United States today, saying that we will allow, believe it or not, it's so unfathomable that we are going to now have to allow Israel to have its own capital in its own territory, which has long been its policy, and we finally took off the table something that should have never been on the table, which is Israel's right to declare its own capital and us to put our embassy in that capital where they have their Knesset, where they have their ministries, where they have their Supreme Court. I mean, we need to stop infantilizing Arabs and Muslims and stop letting their Islamists have the heckler's veto, which today they no longer have.
Dr. Zuhdi, I mean, what does this vote mean exactly, the vote against the U.S.? I mean, so bankrupt is the United Nations that even President Bill Clinton's ambassador, Madeleine Albright, started asking and questioning its value and pushing the idea of just a world body limited only to democracies. I mean, so what does this vote really mean?
It's actually anti-Western. It's anti-American. I mean, at least Canada abstained. There are a few countries that abstain, but when they vote against us, imagine what it means when the signal we're sending to countries that, like Russia, that actually voted veto a declaration of genocide in Syria, etc., which are really human rights catastrophes, while all we're doing is recognizing symbolically that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. So actually what it's meaning is that Iran, Saudi Arabia, Islamist countries like Pakistan, Egypt have more sway over the UN's vote than us, the leaders of the free world, who pay for so much of the UN budget, they care less about making us happy. Why? Because they've been used to 8 years of Obama appeasement, a internationalist versus actually standing up for what America meant. And finally, President Trump is doing that, and he's empowered Ambassador Haley to actually represent American interests and Israel's interests.
Dr. Jasser, to your point, remember when Congress would not approve President Barack Obama's appeasement of Iran's nuclear ambitions, and Obama took it to the UN and it obliged. And a month before leaving office, Obama abstained when the UN Security Council voted against Israel. Remember that?
Absolutely, and that should show you how passive-aggressive so much of the other politics from the globalists and those who refuse to acknowledge America's role in leadership. President Obama did that. He did it as he departed. He didn't have the courage to do it in the years before that, which would have really been a clearer statement about where his priorities are. But President Trump wasn't going to stand for that. We're finally going to take off the table this debate about Jerusalem, and especially West Jerusalem, which isn't debatable, about where Israel has its government, and finally tell the Islamist regimes that they aren't going to push around the United States based on this sort of ephemeral threat of violence that may result, and that actually now we can get to the brass tacks of what a peace process really should look like.
Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, we love having you on, sir. Please come back soon.
Anytime. Thanks, Liz.